Okay. And we're live. Nice. We out here. Let's start that. Let's start telling everyone to get in here. Okay. And we're live. We're live. Okay. What up, people? How is it going? I think my chat isn't working. Stream time? No. Nah. I'm just sitting here. Why would I stream? Why would I stream? I feel like that's weird. I'm not gonna actually do it. This is a joke. I'm pranking you guys. Let me move this down a bit. The angle a little bit better. Maybe centered a bit more. Maybe I can be centered more. It's a little better. I'm not very active in the server. What is this about? I am doing a Q&A stream where a lot of you are currently either in high school, getting ready for college, getting ready to apply to maybe grad schools. Maybe you're in school and you're trying to find ways to get involved. I'm doing a Q&A because I want to try. Today I want to answer a bunch of questions for all of you and try to help as many of you as I can understand a lot of questions or ways that you maybe feel like you're struggling, you don't really know how to navigate things in college, and I have a lot of experience in a lot of this realm, so I'm here to provide advice and maybe answer some questions that it's been hard to find answers to from other people. So that's kind of the goal for today. So, I see some questions. We're going to get to those in just a minute. Do I sleep in undergrad? Not so much. Now I do sleep in grad school. In grad school, yes, I actually sleep. It's nice. Last night, not so much. Last night, we were out kind of late. It was last night went to bars, and I feel like I look a little tired, but I went to bed pretty late. Do you have diabetes? No, I do not. I do not have diabetes. Last night, the problem last night is I got home at like 2 a.m. So it was like, it was chill that I got home at 2 a.m. It's like, whatever. Went to bars, got home at like 2 a.m. But then I ate too much McDonald's. Rookie mistake. Absolute rookie mistake. And then from all that McDonald's, I couldn't fall asleep until like 4. It was crazy. Because I had to digest a bit. I had to make sure I digested. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome to ask. You stick around, just kind of see things. But appreciate you joining either way. You're good. Yeah, why don't we just answer questions? Let's get right into it. So, hey, I'm a CS student going for an internship abroad soon. How do I make friends? It's a research one where I just collaborate with a professor. Found your channel recently. Well, glad you found the channel. So you're going abroad. I want to ask, I'm curious, where are you going abroad? That sounds pretty cool. But to make friends when you're in an internship abroad. Now, I didn't necessarily do one in another country. I actually want to do one in another country. I had one I was going to be doing in Florence, Italy. And the day I was booking my flights, they canceled it. I was so mad. They canceled it. I was supposed to do a study abroad. Got canceled. Maybe I'll do one in research one like you're doing when I'm in grad school. But what I would do is, I mean, it's kind of just like when you show up to college and they plop you in the middle. Think of it like when you walk into a classroom that you don't know anyone in the class. Over time, people who also don't know anybody are slowly just going to start asking each other because there's a common reason. You want to make friends to do homework together and stuff. The same thing's going to happen when you do your internship. You're going to be in your lab, you're going to want to make friends, and there's going to be I don't know if there's other people in your program, there's other things, but whoever's within your conglomerate, your group that you're in, are probably going to be your first branch of making friends. Just go up to people, talk to them randomly, and just try to make friends with them. I don't know. Like, I guess I don't have like a fantastic answer on that, but I think it's just like, how do you make friends anywhere? Just go up to random people and talk to them. Everyone is willing to talk, and that's what I've learned. Everybody is willing to talk. How do I get a B in Calc 2 and Physics 1? Oh, how can I get a B? Just like in general? Do you mean like in general? Like how do you get that in general? I would say the best strategies that I used to study physics is I think people really get caught up on when studying these more fundamental classes is they spend so much time looking at the homework problems and trying to understand how to do very specific problems. And I think that's an issue. And I saw this a lot actually with some of my very close friends. And what they would do is that they would go to the homeworks and they would just start doing the homework problems. And when it comes to the exam, they'd study the homework problems. And I'd be like, great, you know how to do all of the homework problems, but in the end, they're testing you on the concepts in those homework problems, the physics. So you can know how to do all of those homework problems, but then when you get to the exam and they ask you a different kind of problem, that's where the issue can be. And people are going to start and they're going to be like, oh my God, I haven't seen this before. You have seen it before. It's about the fundamental concepts within there. If you were doing physics 1, it's going to be a lot on Newton's laws. Don't focus so much on just being like, oh, I need to know the block on an incline problem. That's the one I need. I need to make sure, like, you should know that problem. But can I give you any kind of problem, and can you tell me the physics behind it? Can you understand to me what F equals ma is? Can you understand how that force conservation works? Can you draw a force body diagram in any situation? If I put a block on a hill, can you immediately tell me why that there's friction on the block, and that's holding it down? If there's a rope on it, then there's tension, and why that tension is going to, and all the forces in the x direction are going to be equal to each other if it's not moving. So it's about thinking of things like that. Don't focus so much on just the homework problems, because I think that is where people get caught up and they just try to know how to do all the homework problems. But if you're not understanding the fundamental physics, it doesn't really matter that you know how to do all the homework problems, because when you get to the exam, guess what? There's going to be a different kind of problem. That's my best advice for that. How's skiing over there? Awesome. I don't ski. I'm kidding. Yeah, I got into skiing last year, and I basically got into skiing last year. It was pretty fun. So I finally bought my own skis, and we'll get ready for this season. But it's pretty good. CU is a very, very ski-heavy school. Ski snowboarding. Super heavy on it. They even have a free bus for students from campus, or at least in Boulder. But students can take it for free, and they can take it to any resort, or not any resort, sorry. They can take it to the closest resort to campus, because the closest one is like 20-something minutes from where I live in campus. So it's like students will hop on the bus, go there. There's even people like in my lab that'll be like, hey, we're taking a half day Wednesday and we're gonna go ski. Do you want to join? I'm like, yeah. And it's like my professor even knows that. Like he's even like, oh, everyone's skiing? Cool. Sounds good. So it's like, it's super cool. Oh, what's the process of reaching out to professors before applying to grad schools? It's definitely involved. It's definitely an involved process. I would recommend starting it. So if you haven't started already, I guess I'll walk through timeline. A good time to reach out to them is summer, or before like classes start, because they're usually a little bit less busy and they're a little bit easier to respond to emails. The next best time is not right now. Right now, the next couple weeks at least, they are going to be flooded with all their coursework that they have to do for teaching, because professors also have to teach, and that makes them stupidly busy. I can tell you that my advisor is really busy for the next week or so, because he's getting the intro of his course ready. So the best time to probably reach out to them is going to be starting like 2 weeks from now, and then just keep applying until grad apps are due. And the process is, you literally, if you saw my video on getting into research is easier than you think, it's kind of like writing an email like that, but instead of writing an email like that, what you're doing is you're very quickly introducing yourself, dropping your resume, and saying that you're planning on applying to the program and you like their research. If you're in engineering, it's a little bit easier to, it's almost necessary to get in contact with a professor before applying. Schools that have committees and stuff, it's a little bit harder because, like at CU, they have a committee to admit you. So I can reach out to all the professors I want, and I still should get people on my radar so that when the committee meets, they're like, oh, I saw this guy on my email list, I kind of liked him, I'd vouch for accepting him. But it's for engineering professors. There are, like, I got into an engineering school. Now I'm in physics, but I also got into engineering PhDs, and I would have not even gotten on the visit day, or I wouldn't have gotten the short list for one of them if I didn't reach out to professors, because they were only inviting people on the visit day who, or you can say short list. It basically goes like, if you get accepted or you're on the short list, you get, they fly you into the school for like your last round of interviews or whatever, and then you get accepted after. But I wouldn't even gotten that list if I didn't reach out to a professor. So very important. But just kind of reach out to them, introduce yourself, drop your resume, and then you gotta you poke them. You gotta poke them like a couple times. They don't respond, they might just not respond. Happens. If you're applying to schools like MIT, Caltech, like a lot of the name brand schools that just get like flooded with emails because people know the name of the school, then they're like never gonna respond. But you still gotta do it because you never know. Is that a sofa in the background? Am I dreaming? It's a couch cushion. Listen, we had a party here. And we were like, we got to move this out of here because we need more space. And I was like, I'll put it in my room. And I put it in my room, and I just haven't moved it out. It's been weeks now. It has actually been weeks, and I literally just haven't moved it out. It's almost like decent background for the stream at this point, so like I haven't really cared, but it's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. How do you deal with screen time, and how do you stop using your phone too much? Yeah, I also have an issue with this where I still will just get like absorbed in my phone because I can't bring myself to do work. And what's the easiest way to stop myself from doing work and getting distracted? Using my phone. So it's kind of like, I think the best thing I've done is, actually what's really been helping lately is being really, really, really disciplined on exercise. And I might be like, how does exercise and using my phone relate? Well, the more that you exercise, the more that you're going to kind of help balance out your dopamine in your brain. And in doing that, it makes it easier to not get absorbed in your phone. And I think I've not really been absorbed in my phone that much in the last like month or so because I've actually tried to really discipline myself in exercising. So, yeah. Someone said, are you streaming on YouTube at the same time? I am. Guys, also, I'm also live on Twitch because I'm trying to just gain followers on that. Just click, I'll drop the link in the chat in a minute and just give it a follow. That's it. Also reminding me that I didn't change the stream title for that, so I should do that. Let's go to Twitch. But yeah, I already forgot what I was saying. But yeah, exercise a lot because you will find that if you exercise consistently, and I mean like really exercise. I've almost found it motivating to help me exercise when I've realized how much that has helped me not look at my phone because it's actually like helped me be able to focus better. And I have ADHD, so pointing it out on that. All right, edit stream info. Oh, it's still why we disagree with Isaac Newton. That's why. Q&A. What did I name this one? It's amazing I don't remember advice stream. Boom. Just chatting. Done. Cool. I think it's just twitch.tv/Dario Tringali. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna drop this in the chat real quick. Twitch.tv. Sorry, we'll get right back to questions in a second. Let's see, does this link work? This is the question. It does. Boom. Yeah, just give that, if you want, just give it a follow. That's it. Literally just give it a follow. Because it'd be good to have that platform if I want to use it at a later point. You got to get a few followers on there. But, okay. Where were we? So, let's see. If I miss, I'm trying not to get too caught up, like, super high in the chat. So if I miss your question, you can just send it again. Don't spam, but just ask it again. When you find your current PI, how did you reach out to the students in the lab? Literally just emailed them. If you work hard enough, you can track down emails. Or you can track down somewhere to contact them. I mean, I would do anything from, if sometimes a lab webpage, the lab website is a big place, you can get names of people. I usually, if you want to reach out to people, you want to reach out to more senior grad students in the lab, because they can, especially if you can't get the professor to respond, you can get students from the lab to respond. That's how I was able to talk to people at MIT, is I couldn't get professors to respond, but I could reach out to PhD students. And PhD students, when I was able to meet with them, and then a lot of times you also have to show them that you're qualified and they're not like wasting your time. But then I would reach out to them and I'd be like, here's my resume. And they'd be like, oh, I think you would do well here. And then the MIT students would be willing to connect me with people. That's how I was able to get that to work. Have you ever been interested? Then the question, reach out to, just find their email. I would LinkedIn people. I found people I can't find the emails of, and I would find them on LinkedIn. And then I would message them there. There's always a way. Just be persistent. You got to be just persistent. Have you ever been interested in astrophysics, or have you always moved into more pure physics? I love astrophysics. I'm doing some astro stuff right now with my research. I'm designing instrumentation to help identify exoplanets. And that involves me pointing a telescope at space. So I have a telescope that I work on designing, and it points currently at the sun. We want to point it at farther objects soon. When I say soon, that could be years, but sometime within my PhD. And basically, what we want to do with that is we're trying to point it at the sun. We're trying to collect solar line measurements and use what's called the radial velocity method for identifying exoplanets and be able to make very precise measurements on that radial velocity. Or I should say, help astronomers be able to make precise measurements on that. It's a lot more involved than that, but if someone really wants to hear about what I do, that'd be a little spiel, but that's kind of the general summary. But I do love astrophysics, and I was specifically looking for something that combined doing atomic, molecular, and optical physics, which is the general field I'm in, but also had an aspect of space to it, because I love space. You can see literally my Rocketeer shirt that I have on right now. Literally says, I literally have a Rocketeer shirt. Question was already at, you're good. Do you know Cohere Scholars Program? New for researchers in ML. I don't know that one. I'm not in ML, so probably why I don't know it, but that's okay. You should go for it. Do whatever opportunities you want. Did bro get a trim? Yeah, I did. Do we like the trim? Is it good? My hair's wet right now. It's very wet still, but I think I like the trim. I think it was about time that we got a little bit of a haircut. Should you still attach your resume if it's not most of the relevant one to physics? So I make my resume in LaTeX with Jake's template, and the advantage of making it in LaTeX is that I can have all of my positions and reasonings for my positions just commented in and out and generate the document how I want. So depending on what I'm applying to, I comment in and out and write different bullet points for different things. So basically I just change it around, because I'll have like 5 experiences and I will okay, these 3 are most relevant, and I'm going to change up the bullet points that I put for each of those reasons and adapt those to kind of whatever position I'm applying for. And I found that pretty successful. So I would do that. Was that really, if not the most relevant one in physics? But it's really also just like, now if you want to apply to like physics stuff and you have zero physics experience, it might be hard to get that job before saying, should I leave out the physics stuff? But you want to fill up as much space as possible. There's no reason to like, if you have space, there's no reason to be like, oh, this is like an engineering experience that's not really applicable. I might as well not put it on there. If you have room, aside from all the things that you think are most applicable, just put it on there. Like, who cares? Just do it. Next question. What strategies would you recommend for staying focused when taking tests for someone with ADHD? Hey, ADHD person here. I would say, so I'm a horrible test taker still. I still haven't been able to solve this problem, and I would say I'm like horrendous at taking exams. I think what I found is I'm so bad at taking exams that I've started to not beat myself up really for being bad at exams, because I've done enough at this point and I've proved to myself in other ways that I feel like I can do things and I'm qualified to do things, that I don't let being bad at taking exams beat me up. Because it really, taking exams is just one skill you can be good at, and research is a completely different skill. So I've learned that I can do research, but I can't take exams. Still, strategies to do it, it's hard because especially I get like stuck on problems and I can't move on from them. You might have some of the similar experiences where you're doing a problem and you just really know you should be moving on from it, but you just can't move on, and you just keep trying that problem, and then too much time has passed, and then boom, you didn't finish the exam. What I have really, really been slowly trying to learn how to do is you gotta just make sure you gotta just move on. You gotta do all the easiest problems first. Just take all of the free points. Every single thing that you know how to do, you gotta just do it. You gotta just do it off rip. Just do it immediately. And then from there, then move on to the other problems that you don't know how to do, and try to just get as many points as you have down. I've definitely gotten better at it, but I'm still not great at it. But I think I learned to not beat myself up about it. And there's a lot of other ways to prove yourself. You can go get so many extracurricular activities and show that you can do really well at those, and make up for not being as good of an exam taker. It's worked out for me. It can for you too. Are there any postdocs in your life? Yeah, there are. There's a bunch of postdocs. There's like maybe like 4. We're looking for more, but at the moment, that's kind of what we got. How do you gauge your competitiveness at school, and how do you balance the competitiveness of the pool of schools you apply to? I kind of just went for broke, and I kind of just said, this is my mentality with a lot of the PhD applications, and it depends how you want to do. You can, when you want to gauge competitiveness at school, I mean, there's ranking systems that kind of show. Now, if you look at things like here, I'll even just show you. I'll just show you. This is rankings. Let's do this. Right. Boom. Boom. Okay. So when I look at this, it's like, if I want to figure out what schools, it would be, where is it on here? I don't know. Can I get the filters if I do this? I want like the filters. Where does one get those filters? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Compare schools? No way, you gotta make me log in. I refuse. Rankings, national universities. There we go. Okay. This is like where you can get a general gauge. Now, I don't want you to look at this and be like, oh, Princeton better than MIT, clearly, because look, they ranked it here. I want to go to the number 1 instead of the number 2. Like, no, that's not what you do. If it's like in the top 10 or something, they're all good. Top 5 they're all good. So I would say, like, let's say when I knew I wanted to apply to grad school, I would be like, okay, what am I doing? I'm doing physics. So I would go to physical sciences. And then so let's do just area study. No way you're going to make me log in. All right, give me a second. I'm going to log in with a stupid account. Hold on. How about email generator? Let's do this. Temp email. We're going to do this. Give me my email. Okay, copied. Let's do fake news 1. 1 Okay, capital F, fake news 1. Okay, guys, do that. I'm giving this like 2 more minutes. Okay, how about this? Top physics PhD programs. Here. Okay, just do that. Apparently that's what you have to do. You just do that. Basically, so it's like, I want to do physics PhD ones. You got this website here. And now it's like, oh, I want to do physics. What area am I doing? Atomic, molecular, and optical. And this is going to figure out who I was applying to. Then I looked at this list. And I was like, oh, who does AMO physics? Who's the best at it? And you can kind of get a list of whatever the top schools are. Oh, look, there's my school right there. So it's like, that's how I kind of figured out what I wanted to apply to. I kind of looked at this list and I was like, okay, who's good at this kind of field? But once again, it's like, if I went to, get out of here. If I went to Columbia, it's chill. Like it's in the top, it's like in top 10. It's like, you're fine. It's not really that big of a deal. Like, I'm not looking at this list and I'm not like, oh my God, I'm number 4. I can't believe that Harvard and MIT are better than me. You know how many people are in my lab, like in my specific lab, that went to visit MIT and my school and chose my school? It doesn't matter when you're in the top 5. Like if you're in the top 5, top 10, it doesn't matter. Just that's kind of how I got like a general list. But that's how you kind of figure out who is competitive in the field. Back to camera. But I hope that makes a little bit of sense. And then you can balance it however you want. My mentality was, what I'm going to do is, yeah, you can add me on LinkedIn. My mentality is, I went for broke because if I didn't get to a school that I wanted to go to, I'd rather wait another year and apply. That's a great thing though. Compared to undergrad, it's like, undergrad is like, you want to just go next year. You're not gonna, if you don't get into the school you want to for undergrad, you're not gonna wait another year and apply. You're just gonna go to school. You're gonna go to college. But in grad school, if you don't get into the school you want to go to, then you can wait a minute and you can apply the next year. So my mentality was, I kind of went for broke, but I know usually more people, especially if they want to go for that next year and they're pretty confident, they will apply to like a third reaches, they'll do like a third of like hit school, like target schools that they think they'll get into, and then they'll have a few on the back end that they're going to call safeties, ones that they definitely think they'll be able to get into. So they'll at least have something lined up. I've done MSc in physics from Indian Institute of Technology, blah, 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 blah. Is it possible to do a PhD from the USA? Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I don't know how the grad application will differ. I think it's the same application portal. You just have to, you just apply. It can be harder to get in as an international student because they take less of them, but it's the same application. You still apply. I would still reach out to professors, make connections. That can usually be your best in. There's ways, if you do it properly, you can know if you're going to get into a school before you even apply, and that can help you streamline your applications, because PhD applications are all like $80 each or something stupid, so it can be expensive. Did you apply to schools in Europe? I've heard the pay is better and the duration is shorter. I personally did not apply to schools in Europe. I know people who did, but it's like the pay is better, but also Europe can have a weird thing where because they don't do like straight bachelor's to PhD, they do bachelor's, master's, PhD. You can end up sometimes paying still, or needing to pay for a period of time before you get to the PhD, and then you're paid. So it's like, it can be weird. I didn't really want to mess with that world. I wasn't really thinking I'm going to go to Europe for grad school, but you can. Feel free to look into it, and people do it. At least I can give you a validation that plenty of people will do it. Can you give some advice on how to get my CV better? I would probably need your CV in front of me to be able to do that, but use a LaTeX template is my first thing. Just start with formatting. Before even seeing what's on your CV, I can tell you at least start with formatting. Start with just what are you going to put on, like, how are you going to display your information? Is it, if you're applying to like internships and stuff, and this is thousands of people are applying to this, and you know something's going to read through it like automatically, like an AI bot is going to just scan it and try to grab words, then you need to have your keywords on there to make sure that it's going to get through the botting system. And to start with basic things like that. Try to start in a way where you're at least going to get your resume through to a person's face to look at. Like, you need to be able to be in front of somebody. And also look at your resume and be like, if I had 5 seconds to look at this resume, what am I looking at first? Go ask your friends. Go ask them to be like, okay, I'm going to show you this document in 5 seconds. Tell me what you noticed. And then show your resume for 5 seconds in front of them, and then tell them what they saw right away. Because that's usually how long they're going to be looking at your resume when you're applying to things that have a shit ton of applications. That's what I can do that's what I can say, at least without seeing your CV in front of me. We should do a CV stream though at some point, especially since it's internship season. How would be like if maybe in a week or two, or we gather a bunch of CVs, since I know you're all going to be applying to internships, and we just rip into people. I will not be nice. I'll just, like, you can send me a resume, but like the consequences that you have to accept me making fun of you for anything you do bad, because I have to get entertainment out of it. We can totally do that. How realistic is it to get into theoretical physics PhD with a bunch of non-theoretical research or not related experience like experimental physics? If you have research experience in physics and you want to transition to theoretical physics, I think that could be very reasonable. I would maybe, if you clearly are probably at a university, then ask some professors and see them and ask them like what you maybe could do if you really want to do theoretical physics. You also, now here is a tip of something that a lot of times people do. Even theorists will apply to PhDs as an experimentalist. And I might say, why would they do that? If they want to do theoretical physics, why would they apply to their PhD programs as an experimentalist? And that's because, where have I doom scrolled to? Welcome, dude. Dude, I have a YouTube. Check it out. So there's someone in Twitch, for all of you in YouTube chat. Someone hopped in. Where have you doom scrolled to? You scrolled far down, dude. I like just made my Twitch account. You scrolled pretty far down. But welcome. Welcome here. We're doing advice for academics. I'm a physics PhD student, and we're doing an advice stream for people. Feel free to check out the YouTube. It's just my name. But I'm getting my PhD in physics. Look at him. He's getting personalized attention. Appreciate it, dude. Welcome. All right, sorry. Feel free to join. Ask any questions. If you're in school or anything, need questions, feel free to ask them. That's what we're doing today. Where were we? Oh yeah. So you'll be like, why would a lot of theoretical physics people ask or apply as an experimentalist? And it's because they accept more people under experimentalists than theorists. So sometimes it might be more advantageous for theorists to apply to grad schools as an experimentalist because it'll increase their odds of getting in. And then once they get in, then they'll go, because once you're in, you can talk to whoever you want. And then they'll go start talking to professors and be like, hey, I'm trying to do theory. And sometimes it works. So basically, yeah, that's a way you can think about it. You might even be able to transition post getting into your PhD to a theorist. You can apply and say everything in your personal statement, everything, and be like, I really want to do experimental work. And then once you get in, you can just switch. So it's weird how you have to play the system a little bit like that sometimes. Not saying you have to do it. My roommate who does theoretical physics applied as a theorist, got in as a theorist. It's just sometimes, if you currently feel like your case can be better pleaded as an experimentalist, then maybe just stick with that for now. And you can go get theoretical physics experience if you want to do that in the meantime right now. But when you apply, maybe just build your case because you have a good case as an experimentalist. Just say that, and then once you get in, then you can make your transition. I hope that clarifies things. I think that's a pretty decent plan. Yeah, go to CV idea. Yeah, we can do that. If you guys are in the Discord server or something, I mean, like, I can send a link in there, a form for everyone to just submit their CVs, and no personal information would be allowed. But undergrad, thinking of going to a physics PhD in the future? Dude, that's crazy. You doom scrolled all the way into the perfect place. Welcome. You could not have doom scrolled into a better place. Good for you. But yeah, guys, follow the Twitch also. I'll drop the link one more time. Oh, I copied the bot email. I forgot. I gotta scroll up to it. Grab that. Control C. Control V. Just give the Twitch a follow. That's it. Just give it a follow. I'm just trying to help grow it. That's all I'm trying to do. Where were we? What was your GPA during your PhD? You say that like I'm not my PhD anymore. I'm still in my PhD. It's like a 3.9 or something. I forget. But GPA really doesn't matter that much. Oh, during my PhD application, I didn't read further. That's my bad. What was your GPA during your PhD application? How much experience did you have? I did a lot in undergrad, so I really wanted to. I think I have a video called getting into. Oh God, I like renamed it recently. What is it called now? I don't even know. Hold on. Pausingtons. Give me 1 second to find the name of that video. I have a video where I walk through everything I did in my PhD. I think it's my worst, or sorry, undergrad. I think it's literally my worst performing video. So, but I know the content in that is good. So there's a good chance I remake that at some point. It's called right now it's called the Optimized Way for STEM Majors to Navigate College. In that video, I walk through kind of just year by year everything I did in my undergrad and how I learned from different mistakes I made and got to where I am today, and how I was able to kind of do all the things I did in undergrad and become a good PhD applicant. So it's kind of good. So I would look at that video, and that would kind of explain everything that I did. My GPA when I applied to schools was a 3.9. I had multiple research experiences, and yeah, but that video will show you kind of how I got into everything I got into, because it seems like, oh, how'd you get all those things? In that video, I would explain kind of how I had no clue what I was doing, and then one thing kind of just led to another, and I slowly learned how I should, like the mentality that you should have to navigate these things. So I recommend watching that video. That'd be a better answer than me trying to yap your ear off right now. Where were we? Remember, guys, if I miss your question, because I'm trying to like keep up with the current chat at the same time, just send it again. When are you going to add ADHD content for graphics and Subway Surfers? You're right. Oh man, why do I not have Subway Surfers on? That's so on me. I don't feel like adding it right now, but we'll do better for next time. We're gonna get the Subway Surfers on, and we're gonna make sure everyone's attention span can stay here. Are you saying I'm not entertaining enough? Are you saying I'm boring, Mr. Plubosaurus Rex? I feel like you feel like someone I know from somewhere. Oh wait, we gotta sneeze. Sneeze accomplished. But yeah, if I miss your question for right now, you feel free to just don't spam the chat, but you can just send it again if you see that I've considerably missed it. I'm trying to just make sure I see live things in the chat to engage at the same time, you know. Can I ask you a question? Of course you can. Yeah, that's what this is about. Just ask. Do you have a standing desk? I was contemplating getting one. I was thinking about maybe getting a standing desk, but I haven't really thought about it yet. So there's like a chance that maybe one day I get a standing desk, but right now I don't know if I necessarily want to. But do you think a standing desk is a good idea? I feel like it might be a good idea in the future to get a standing desk, but I'm not fully sure maybe like when I want to get one, how I want to get one. But they're also kind of expensive. So maybe one day we'll get a standing desk. Maybe one day. But not right now. Anyways, where were we? Next question. Could you please give advice for international students? Yeah, you gotta be a little more specific though. Like what? On what? Does a good percentage of physics GRE helpful? I've heard universities make it non-mandatory. I didn't take it. I almost refused to apply to a school that takes GREs because I'm horrible at standardized testing. And I kind of refused. I was like, I don't want to take that because I suck at it and I don't think it'll help my application. So I never took it. You can if you want. If you want to take it and do well, you can take it, not do well, and then not send it in. But I just was like, I'm not taking it. I refuse. So I just didn't even take it. What do you suggest you do in your PhD in physics? Can I ask what you suggest to do in physics if I like in PhD if I like computer science? There are a lot of physics-informed neural networks, a lot of physics-informed models that are going on right now. So I would look into more physics-informed machine learning models because those things exist and those things are very they're becoming a very big thing in physics, so that can be a very big avenue. But there's a ton of, I mean, there is an insane amount of overlap between computer science and physics. Computational physics is an entire field that you can do. You can even go in, you can with the CS thing, you can apply to aerospace programs, you can apply to you can apply to like so many different programs with all that CS experience, because what you can do is that you can go get your physics background, be like, I also know CS stuff, and you can get a ton of things. I have friends who study CS, and they're doing awesome things within the field of physics. So there's a ton of opportunities for you to do. Yeah, explore. I would say look at just any different department. You don't have to look at the computer science department to look for research. You can look for any department. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna go look at the physics department. And if I see something that feels like I might like that, then go reach out to them. Everything needs CS nowadays. So you have a lot of things that you're able to do. How can I stand out for physics grad school? Do I have to publish papers or can I do research? Publishing a paper definitely helps. I will say. Being able to publish a paper definitely helps. And I mean, the biggest thing that you could do is just go get different experiences that showcase you as a researcher. Go find a research lab that's willing to mentor you, make you a better researcher, and help grow you into a better physics student. And someone that's going to not only be like, oh, you can work in my lab, but they're also going to be willing to help you get different things like scholarships, help put your name on paper. So when you apply to grad school, you get your name on paper. So that's kind of like the main thing. Like, how can you make yourself a better physics grad student applicant? Go get research. How can you make yourself stand out? Go get even more research. It's kind of just like, go get more different experiences. And I think having a different diversity experiences can help a lot too. I would apply to different scholarships program. There's like the Goldwater Scholarship Program. I was able to get nominated by my university for that. And that is a very distinctive thing because I'm showing like, oh, hey, my university recognized me as as a good researcher, not just I'm doing research in this lab. Like other people vouched for me and they nominated me for this thing. And there's a lot of different things that you can do along those lines to help yourself stand out. But where all that stem from, starting to do research. I'm currently a physics undergrad student, and a tutor told me it's kind of normal to have mid-grades during... I missed that. Mid-grades during undergrad, and the further you go... Wait, sorry, keep scrolling. The further you go, the better your grades will get. Is that true? My GPA started out in undergrad as a peak, and I was only going down in GPA as I went through. And then then senior year, it was fine again. But I guess I don't know. Yo, don't spam questions. Bro, I'm not answering it. Yo, I said if you spam, then I will not answer questions. Just so you know. So basically, let's see, where were we? I'm in uni. I'm an AI undergrad in UAE. How can I get into astrophysics with this math background, doing extra projects in my sophomore year now? Start getting into research. Literally, just start getting into research. That's kind of just the main thing. Hey Dario, I left your phone in your car. Max, you left your phone in my car? Why are you coming here to tell me? You're coming here to tell me you left your phone in my car? How did you leave your phone in my car? Oh my god. Yeah, dude, you can come get it. I have my car key here. Just come in the door. Just walk in the room and I'll give you my car key. You can go get it. Just come walk in my room and I'll give you the car key. But you have to say hi to everyone on stream then. That's the only downside. So, dude, how did you the whole night you fell asleep too. You fell asleep on the couch. I saw you fall asleep on the couch. I don't have a phone. That's true. Point taken. How would you text me if you didn't have a phone? Yeah, no, that's cool. No, that's fair. I guess that's fair. That's, you know what? I just have to respect that now. You went, how am I gonna get in contact with him? And I don't have my phone. He's streaming right now. I'm gonna go in his chat. And I'm gonna. Yeah, you could. Yeah, come get your phone. Come get your phone, dude. You absolute bum. God, you were an EP boy last night too. You have a talent of falling asleep in places that I wouldn't be able to fall asleep in. But all right, we'll see you here in a minute. Guess we have a guest coming on soon. Guess we have someone who's gonna stop by soon. Oh god, that's funny. Okay, coming. Thanks. That's funny. That is hella funny. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, one day I might get a standing. Yeah, I hope you get a standing desk one day. It might change your life. I appreciate that. I'm hoping that one day I can get a standing desk. I do want one. So hopefully one day we can get one. I think that would be cool if we can get one. Dude, what advice are you offering here? Anything. I'm a prophet. I can answer literally anything. Whatever you want, I know the answer to. Like anything. You're looking at a prophet right now. How do you deal with not feeling like not working as hard, or for example, you studied 2-3 hours, but you say to yourself it's not enough? That's an interesting question because I always am doing work, and I do also always feel like I need to be doing work, and I think that's a thing that a lot of people feel. Is like I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect and I figured everything out. It's like I sit here a lot and I tell myself, oh, I should be working right now. Like, why am I not working? And I think that's something important to be able to deal with and understand how to give yourself breaks on things, how to understand that I should give myself a break. Because if you're constantly just always working, then how are you ever gonna, you need a break at some point. You're not gonna be as efficient. If you're always trying to do work, you're gonna be less efficient than if you worked for an hour, took a 10-minute break, 10-minute break or something. But how do you deal with the feeling of not working as hard? I think a lot of that's proving to yourself that you're doing enough, and I think a lot of the validation I got from that is not from my classes, because classes always more so beat me down and made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing, because I was never good at doing homeworks. I'm still horrible at doing homeworks and taking exams and stuff. I'm horrible at classes, but I think it's doing all the things outside of classes that are really going to help you build validation within yourself that you are qualified to do a lot of these things and you are working hard and you're accomplishing things. So I would almost say it might feel weird. It's like a double entendre. It's like I'm going to get more work to feel like I'm doing work, but it kind of almost works out because then you get that other thing you get done and you find yourself becoming more efficient at doing work because you put yourself more on your plate, and all of a sudden now you're feeling more accomplished because you have that other thing which you're actually getting things done in, and it kind of compound. That's how it kind of worked for me. Are you God? I'm whatever I want to be. Today we have chosen form of human. Tomorrow lion. Does that make sense? What's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is the meaning of what is a life worth living. The meaning of what is living is life. What is life when life does not live how you want to live in life? Because there's a lot of life that you can live, but life does not live like how you want to live it. So sometimes you need to live a little bit to feel like you're living, but that doesn't always mean you feel alive. Do you get what I mean? "100% low quality work time is the fountain of endurance." True that. Any non-textbook physics books recommendation? Not really. I wish I had a great recommendation for you. I don't really. I'm reading all like physics books. Can I connect with you on LinkedIn? Yeah, you can connect me on LinkedIn. You know my name. You'll find me. Thanks a lot for your responses. Of course, that's what we're here for. We can do more Q&A streams if people like this, where we can just, because I feel like, especially with school starting, a lot of people have a lot of questions that they want to ask. Should I focus and develop skills in my discipline? Because here in Nigeria, a lot of people always go to develop other skills outside of their degree, like graphics. Absolutely. I think developing skills outside of your discipline is a good thing in general. That's not just a thing that happens in Nigeria. I'm always trying to develop skills outside of my niche. Me trying to make videos is me trying to develop a skill outside of my niche. This is nothing that like me making videos is completely unrelated and has no help whatsoever in anything I do within my schooling. But I think in learning different skills in different disciplines, even just completely removed from what you're doing, can start to have overlaps in ways that help that might not realize. I started learning how to do a little bit more, since I'm trying to learn a little bit more graphic design kind of things, and I'm learning how to use things like Adobe Illustrator, like Photoshop, Premiere Pro for video editing. I'm suddenly finding, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm now good at using Illustrator, and I now am writing papers, and these papers have figures in them. And these figures, since I know how to use these graphic design softwares, all of a sudden, I can make better figures because I know how to use these software better than other people would, because no one else is going to put that much raw time into learning these kinds of software. So I've actually now suddenly found an overlap between these skills that I would have never been able to tell you that it was there until I got good enough at it, or I started doing it enough where I saw that overlap was there. So absolutely develop skills outside of your discipline, and you will find overlaps between things that you will not even have thought were there. You might be like, there's no way that's related, but that would be cool to learn. Do it, because you might find a way that they're related and you don't even realize. Yo, Dario, you're cool, but that was a top 10 zestiest moments, my friend. That's chill. I'm fine with that. Listen, if you say there's a top 10, that means that you already in your head thought of 9 others. So I think that seed must have already been planted. So that's chill. Happy to have gotten another one in the top 10. Do you advise me to start reading research papers in my area, even though I'm a first-year student? There's no reason to just read research papers like that. It's like, you're not going to get anything out of them. You can, if you really want to sit down and you want to take a research paper and try to learn every word in them, go for it. Here's a better idea, though. Just join a research group. Go reach out to a research group, join a group, get an actual project, and have a reason to read the papers. They will then give you papers to read. They will help pick papers and be like, you read these. These are the best ones to start with for this field, and start learning about that field. That is how you're best going to learn how to read research papers, is because you're going to have a reason to read those papers, not just aimlessly grabbing a paper. Until there's like motive behind reading a paper, it's hard to do it. I struggle in reading a paper unless I have motive of something of like, oh, I'm trying to learn how to do this thing. So now I want to go read papers about it. There's this technique I want to learn. So now I'll go read papers about it. Just randomly reading papers, especially when you're not like even a senior level PhD student. It's like until you get to like more like a senior PhD student, it's hard to just go grab papers and start reading them for the sake of reading them. You kind of have to, there's a lot of catch up you have to do. So just go join a research group. Do you believe in the idea of prodigies, greatness, and do you think it's possible to get there solely hard work, ambition, considering there's people who work so much and still don't succeed? I low-key have a video on this called Why Greatness Isn't an Accident, where I kind of give my take on that, but I believe that there is a lot of luck. There is a lot of luck in things, you know? There is an essence of luck. Some people are just in the right place at the right time, and there's nothing you can do about it. But, and some people, you know, they're just born, and they can just do 4x4 multiplication in their head. But you know what you can do? You can play the cards you got, and you can make the best out of the cards you have. Everyone has the right hand to be able to make something out of that. It's just a matter of knowing what cards you have and being able to figure out how to leverage them the best way. So that's kind of what I'd say on that. Nobody's built for engineering. Correct. No one is built for engineering. People just choose to do engineering, and everyone can do it. It's just a matter of deciding that you want to do it. What led you to physics? I think it would be a fit better in with engineering. Why do you think I would fit better in engineering? What made you say that? What led me to physics is that, so I did physics and EE in undergrad because I liked both. Physics, I think, is a much more applicable when it comes to the more breadth in the opportunities that I can do. Once you have a physics background, you can apply to jobs in way more different disciplines than if I did just EE. Once you get the physics background, it opens you up to a lot more things. Because you'll notice when there's a lot of jobs or like internship applications online, it'll always be like looking for people who have engineering skills in like aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, or physics. And it's always like or physics, because physics can be much more broadly applicable, because everything is just physics in the end. And obviously physics is just math, but we don't really go there. So that's kind of why I chose physics in the end. But I very much can just do engineering. I have a lot of friends who got degrees in physics, and then they just went and got engineering jobs, but they got a physics degree. So, ooh, guys, I also have I have 2 fantasy football drafts today. 2. I can't wait to win. I'm gonna win both of them. I'm gonna have the best fantasy football drafts that exist. Any recommendations for high school students aiming for top undergrad physics programs? Find you have the ability to reach out to professors right now. If you have a university that is near you, or just any kind of university really, you have the ability to start reaching out to them right now. Explain that you want to do this, and see if you can just be a part of their lab a little bit and learn about research, and show you're actually serious about it. You're not just a high school student and you're just trying to mess around. Like, show that you're serious. You can do that. I have a video on how to get into research, and that can be applicable for you. You can get research experience as a high schooler, and you know what that's going to do? Stand out to get into a good physics program. But there's a lot of good programs, and in the end, your physics education is going to be pretty standardized between any undergrad school you go to. So it's really just about like the teachers that you're going to get. Sometimes they suck, sometimes they're good. It happens. But don't feel like that, especially if you think you're going to do grad school in physics, then don't feel too stressed if you're not getting into like what you would qualify as a top program for undergrad, because in the end, a lot of the physics education is very standardized compared to a lot of like engineering fields. Physics is like super standardized in their undergrad education. But schools that may have more physics opportunities might have more electives and stuff, so obviously it can differ. But go build your story. Go show, like, go think, okay, I want to do physics. What experiences can you go out and get to show to college applicants that you are passionate about physics, and not just like everyone else is passionate, but you not only were passionate about it, you took action on it, and you found things that you could do to show you're passionate about physics. That's kind of the story that you want to say. Go reach out to people. Go step out of your comfort zone and go find opportunities. Because people are willing to help. It's just a matter of being confident enough to go find it. Hi, Mr. Dario. Hi, Mr. Blitzer658. Did you do a minor in physics? No, I did a major in physics. I did a major. I like quantum information field, theory, particle physics, reinforcement learning. What field should I go into? Quantum simulation or QFTs? I can't really tell you exactly I can't tell you what field you should go into. Quantum info, especially if you're trying to apply to things, then you're kind of pitching yourself as a quantum info person. So you're kind of pitching yourself as in the field in general. If you have specific passions about that, can I tell you exactly where the answer should be of where you should go into? No, it's research. It's kind of like you'll figure it out as you go. My recommendation, if you know you like quantum info, go look at labs and go read their bios and figure out, and just find someone that you look at and you're like, that was cool. I'd want to try doing that, and go try doing it. If you don't like that kind of research, you can switch fields. You can switch in quantum info. You can switch completely out of quantum info. You can go into plasma physics if you don't like that much. You just gotta start somewhere. Go find something, start somewhere, see if you like it. How do you approach time management? Is this something you thought about? I see, another time management question. Yeah, time management is it can be tricky, because a lot of it's just about having the motivation to do things. I think for me, a lot of the best ways for me to manage my time is almost to keep myself pretty busy, so I have to stay disciplined in my work. Because if I found myself almost during the school year being more efficient at doing things because I lacked more as much time. So that forced me to be like, okay, I have to do this thing today. I can't wait. Well, in the summer it was almost like I don't have to do this thing today, so I'm not. And then the next day would happen to be like, I'm not gonna do this today, so I'm not. But doing it immediately or keeping yourself a little bit busier helps keep yourself it helps some ways to force yourself to do things. And it's always good to kind of have mental plans in your head, but also be flexible because especially in this world of academics, like the STEM fields in general, so like you walk in one day and you're like, I'll just take 2 hours and do my homework, and then I'll move on to this homework and I'll finish that in 2 hours, and then you get to the first problem on the first homework and it's like been 8 hours and you're like, I can't even get part A, and it just like it happens, stuff just happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, it's a how do I don't know how to. Okay. Yeah. Just try to. I would say to time manage. Work with people so people keep you accountable. I think when I work with people, it kind of helps. It also can be overwhelming because sometimes I want to work alone because other people are moving faster than I am, and it's hard for me to keep up with the pace that they're working at. But on the other side of things, working with people can help make sure I focus because when I would slack off and look at my phone, it's harder for me to do that when everyone else around me is working, and then I don't feel like I can pick up my phone. But I would say just try to work with other people and try to no, that's really what I do. Yeah, I try to work with other people and keep myself decently busy so that it forces me to get work done. Like, oh, you have to have some kind of accountability, you know? Another one about getting a research in high school. Do you reckon that's applicable in other countries like the UK, or do you reckon the education systems would be different? I'd reckon it apply anywhere. It might, you might find slightly different results, but I would reckon. I mean, I can't think, especially when I think of the UK. The UK might be the most similar to the US. That's not the US. I would say at least in like the UK, I think that same methodology would apply. Have I done it myself, or do I know anyone who's done it? No, I live in the US. I barely have many UK friends, but I would uh, I would definitely just try it, just try it, and be persistent. I would say there's no reason that can't work. But let's see, what do we got? My master's thesis supervisor also does PhD at CU Boulder. Nice, nice. CU is nice. I love CU. Good school. Very good school. Grateful to be in this program. Very grateful. As I met a lot of really cool people. Are you working in the same group you did as undergrad? I'm in a different school than I was in undergrad. In undergrad, I went to the University of Buffalo, New York. That's where I'm from. And then for grad school, I applied to a bunch of different schools, toured them, and ended up coming out to CU, the CU physics program. So, no, completely different. I'm in a different field. In undergrad, I did theory. I did theoretical physics in undergrad. I worked on theoretical condensed matter physics was my undergrad research. And then I did an REU at USC in my undergrad to get more research experience, and that was in design, that was in electrical engineering, designing biomedical devices in like RF biomedical devices. And that's what I did for a summer. And then I also then did research with NASA JPL, and I did research in like radio holography and designing methodologies for radio holography. And that was also a completely different field that I knew nothing about when I walked in. And now I'm doing experimental atomic molecular and optical physics, or AMO physics. So it's like I've been everywhere. I've been jumping around. I kind of like it being fresh. I kind of like walking to new fields and completely learning new things. So it's like that's kind of been my mentality for a lot of it. Do you think What do you think about smoking a blunt once a week as an undergrad physics student? Listen, dude, I'm not here to judge. You do what you gotta do, okay? You do what you gotta do. Are you working with the same group? Oh, I just answered that one. I'm dumb. Help if I should focus and develop. Oh, I just answered that one, dude. Like graphics design, photography and editing. I answered that one. If you missed the answer when the VOD's up, check like 20 minutes before right now or something, like 10 minutes before right now. I yapped about that for a minute. Should students from India apply to CU? Listen, you can still apply. I know there's a lot of stupid politics going on here right now, but if you want to do a PhD, just don't let any of that stop you. Just do what you can. Apply. It's not affecting graduate students really as much as I think it's affecting a lot of undergrads, but I don't want to pretend I know a ton about how it's affecting people. I know it's just annoying, and you I would just look at where you want to apply and just apply. But also give yourself some options outside of that in case things change. It's weird right now, I know. Yo, man, am I tweaking or is the chat acting up? I think you're tweaking. I think you're tweaking. I'm pretty confident you're tweaking, unless I'm not seeing something on my end. But I got like the nice fancy stuff sitting on the side, like I got the analytics and stuff up. So I don't really know if I'm not actually tweaking. Do speak Spanish? I saw before. No hablo español. I don't speak much. I took Spanish in high school. I took like 3-4 years of Spanish in like middle school, high school. Have not touched it since. Mi español es muy mal. Right? My Spanish is very bad. I think we got it. I wish I could do this jumping around. I'm done with my bachelor's in E. I think I might need to lock in my master's in microelectronics. What's your opinion on this, Dario? I feel like you kind of just said what you're gonna do. What do you mean? Like my opinion on your plan? I wish I could do this jumping around thing. I'm done with my master's. I need to lock in for my master's. Oh, I think I need to lock in for my master's. What's your opinion? I would say if you're gonna apply to a lot of these schools, think of where you might be best applicable and fit your application in there. When you get in, you could always try it out and you could switch if you want to. If you really feel like you don't like it, you can kind of switch fields, like switch subfields. Now, am I saying that you can go from EE and then just start doing research in Aero? Probably not as easily, but you know, you at least can probably switch within the field of EE. Bro's got the analytics up. You did not put the nerd emoji, telescope, microscope, and vial emoji. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Oh, I'm yapping for 20 minutes about how much I like the color yellow.
Hey.
Hey, dude.
What's up, dude?
You forgot your key?
My phone.
Your phone?
Yeah.
You can say hi to everyone here.
What up, chat?
Hey guys, there's like, this is
up,
Max.
chat?
Max, what do you do?
I'm experimental physics, hybrid quantum systems, like quantum optics and like electromechanics and.
Do you want to make it sound cooler?
Like.
You're being really boring.
Oh,
right now.
trying to put like big massive objects into quantum states of motion. So like trying to put like the largest mass thing that has ever been put into a quantum state. That's another goal.
How big?
It's like tens of nanograms.
Wow.
Which I mean, it makes like normally
that doesn't sound big, but
doesn't sound big, but it is. I mean, normally like things in quantum states are like atoms or electrons, and those are like I don't know how much those weigh, or how massive those are, but pretty small. So I guess they're.
Someone said you're hella nonchalant. Yeah, this guy is so nonchalant. Yeah. The way he falls asleep too is so nonchalant.
Yep. I like your room.
The way that it's not fully decorated yet.
Can I when I get my when I get my phone, can I come back and take a video of your streaming setup? Or a picture of it? Have to.
You for just having it?
Yeah, just to have.
Why do you want it?
Well, I was gonna put it in a video.
Yeah, you can. Sure. Yeah, you can do that. Maybe you want to go get your phone then, and then you can come back.
Yeah, sounds good.
There you go. Go get.
Hey.
Yep. See you in a minute.
Yep.
I like your pants.
Love you.
Love you too. Weird. Sorry, I don't know what happened at the end there. Well, we should do a full stream with Max one time. Who here vouches for a full stream with Max? Could you please go in deeper with your relation with penis? Photoelectric enhanced for near infrared spectrum for exoplanet research. What? Is that an actual acronym? You made that. There's no way that's real. There's no way. Yeah, that was Max. That's a physicist right there. That's what it was. It's like, we're all idiots. You think that everyone here is like very well put together, astute, intelligent individuals, and then you actually talk to everyone, and we're all just dumb. We're all just idiots. That doesn't give you hope and make you feel like that you can do any of this stuff. You can. For anyone who wasn't here earlier, that's the guy who left his phone in my car from last night. Because we went out last night. And then he got into an EP boy moment. But that was that. But he'll be back in a second, apparently. Ooh, wait, I forgot I have to do thumbnail, so I'll start recording. I gotta make it look like I'm talking. There we go. Now it's recording. Okay, I think that's enough talking. It looks like I was yapping. Yeah, Max sounds like, I think he's totally on something. Bro's gotta be on something. There's no way he's not. There's actually no way. I'm pretty convinced too. I'm definitely convinced. Is it possible to get into research groups for other universities as a foreigner or undergraduate? Yeah. Best approach to do so? I would say almost the same thing. Plead your case. I would say, in the video how to get into research that I did, I think the big thing on the email of reaching out to other universities, it's pleading your case of why you want to get into the group is because around you, the places around you don't have that kind of opportunities. And that's why you're reaching out to other places than where you are right now. I think driving that point home in just a couple sentences is really the big distinguishing thing that's going to be able to help get you those opportunities. I'm a current senior. What was that, Dario? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Listen, guys, I'm just here. I don't really feel like you're judging me a little bit for completely normal things. I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm a current senior. What do you think is the most sought after trait for employers in engineering field at my level? Having more background in physics. For some reason. Every time I say that to people, they love it. But also depends on what engineering discipline you're in, what kind of background. Job market kind of just sucks right now, so it's kind of tough to be like, doing this one thing is going to be able to get you a job. I have insanely qualified, intelligent friends who I would be like, anyone would be lucky to hire this dude. And they can't. They're struggling to get a position still. Job market's just kind of ass, which is why grad school applications are going up. Because when the job market's horrible, grad applications are better. That's kind of how it works a lot. Dario, I just realized you kind of look John Lennon without his glasses. Or I might be tweaking still. I feel like you're tweaking still. Do I look like John Lennon without glasses? I look like that? Where do I look like that? Is that what I look like if I kept growing out my hair? Is this what you're implying? That one is a little bit better. I feel like you're tweaking. I feel like you're the one that's on something right now. How do we feel about that? No, I'm not offended. I'm not offended. I'm just trying to like trying to gauge. Low key. Am I the reincarnated version of John Lennon? Is this what everyone's saying? Huh. Maybe I didn't think about this enough. Interesting. Hey, dude, did you get your phone?
Yep.
Glad you got your phone.
Yep. Thanks. Oh, right. Got it.
Yeah, you want
You keep doing it.
You want me to just like pretend I'm doing it?
Yeah.
And you're just gonna take a picture right there?
Yeah. Something. Ooh. All right. Sweet.
Yep, sweet. You'll have to come in for a full stream at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Not right now though.
Nope.
Really, yeah, no.
Ah.
I kind of asked everyone while you were gone. I was like, "Do we want this guy here?" And they were like, "No."
Made things worse.
Yeah.
Could smell him through the screen.
Yeah. They said yes. The smell actually was a very specific comment they made.
Yeah. It's weird. I didn't think they invented. Okay. That's
Yeah.
nice.
No, sorry. It's a new mic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's got the smell in there.
Cool. All right.
Yep. Well, I'll see you soon.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Sorry.
No, it's alright.
Give it a hug.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. You really do smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
See you soon.
Later.
Oh god. Anyways. John Lennon with the less sharp jawline? What in the violation is that? What in the violation? You saying my jawline isn't good? I feel like it's not bad. Not bad. That's crazy. Oh yeah, so Max came in again. I don't know if you guys just saw him. I don't know if everyone like tuned away from the stream when he walked in, but like he was here for a minute. You guys can come back now. If you left because it smelled, you can come back now. You turned it off the tab. You turn your smell feature off. He's gone. Love Max. Hello, I'm a second year EE student currently developing avionics for rocketry team. Sick, that's exactly what I did. Look, I got my Rocketeer shirt. Nice. You help me with your vids. I'm chasing a career in the space career. Dude, you're doing exactly what you should be doing. Now, if you want to go on the exact train that I did, I led the avionics team at my university. Started at my second year. End of my second year, that's when I got into research, and I did that too. So if you want to go on the exact train that I did to help yourself get good opportunities, then I would recommend starting to get into research, and you would be doing most of the things that I did. So that would do. Yeah, who's Max? I clicked off it when I saw the door open. Yeah, no, sorry, I don't blame you. It's probably like I wouldn't really worry about it like that much. I probably just wouldn't worry about it. Like I probably just wouldn't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. It's fine. It's like chill. Don't even worry about it. Just don't even worry about it. I just wouldn't worry about it. How about my electrical engineering degree skills and projects and other certifications compared to the photography? How about the electrical engineering skills and projects and other certifications compared to the photography stuff? But don't want to be in the wrong direction, that's why. I don't really think I think the wrong direction is you doing something that you don't want to do and you're not passionate about in some way. Because, you got to do something that you feel like you enjoy. of my other electrical engineering degree skills and other projects and other certifications compared to the photography stuff. Just ambitions. Yeah, do it. Like, you should do it. Like, do it. If you want to do it, do it. I feel like the simplest answer I give is if you want to do it, do it. And I think doing a lot of questioning if you should do it is only going to be delaying doing the actual thing. Just go try to do it. If a couple months go by and you realize that this is not something you want to be doing, then switch things. You can switch. You can switch doing things. But go do it. Max got everyone hot. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, yeah, do you guys forgot to turn off the smell on here? Yeah, no, yeah, sorry. I should have warned everybody. I mean, that's kind of on me. That's my bad. I'll take responsibility for that one. That one's a little bit on me, but I guess we make do. So Max just enter look like mid and end up doing the min. Gotta tell you, I'm confused. Yeah, I'm confused by what you just said. I don't know what you just said. Max just enter look like mid and ended up doing the min. Gotta tell you, I'm confused. Sorry, I'm struggling to understand what that means. Bro, people saying physics is boring are tripping, be talking about some real interesting. Yeah, see, physics is like, I understand where people are coming at when they say physics is boring though. Because a lot of people watch you before they get into physics, like in high school or something. What they do is they watch like YouTube videos on physics and they're like, whoa, this is what people do in physics. And then they go study physics and their only experience with physics is like what they get out of the physics 1, 2, and 2 classes in their undergrad. And those are hella boring. Those are horrible. I was bored out of my mind in those classes. And a lot of times, learning a lot of the physics can be kind of boring. Like, doing a lot of the actual learning of physics can be boring. So I understand where people are coming from when they say, I think physics is boring, because there's so much background that you have to learn before you can get into the good stuff. It's like you actually have to do an entire degree of background before you can start touching the good stuff. And it's insane. So I understand where people are coming at when they go like, yo, it's boring. It's because they just took a few classes and they were like, this shit's boring. And then they walked away from the field. They didn't get into the good stuff. But a lot of times, sometimes that's just what happens, you know? Like, I don't really know, like, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Those videos are why I like physics. Yeah, those videos are really cool. Those videos are really cool. And that's a lot of things what got me into physics. But fun fact, actually, that's a lot of the reasons that a lot of people get into physics, but then they actually end up walking away from physics, is because they come in with this expectation of what physics is. And then they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, hey, I was really good at physics in high school. I want to study physics, and I'm confused why I'm not working on black holes right now. And I'm like, because you're a first year and you're just starting to learn Newton's laws. And they're like, yeah, but like, well, like next year or something I'll be able to like learn about black holes and stuff. And I'm like, you really are interested in black holes for some reason. So why are we purely interested in black holes? Well, yeah, it's kind of like, that's what kind of what I want to work on, like dark matter and like black holes and stuff, and be like, okay, that's chill. You can work on that. Just, it's going to require a lot of background before you can get there. They're like, yeah, so like, thinking like next year maybe starting to get into it. And I'm like, dude, to like really get into it, you're gonna need to finish your degree first. And then I think a lot of people they don't want to wait that long, or they don't want to do what it takes to get there, and it turns them off to the field because they have this expectation from the videos that makes them passionate about physics, but then when they don't get immediately rewarded by that studying physics, it actually turns them off from the field and they walk away from it. Physics lore is insane. The gameplay just kind of sucks. I actually love that. The lore is crazy. The gameplay is tough. The gameplay is definitely tough. Listen, but if you can get to once you get to like the higher like levels, Like it's you got to get to some of the higher levels, and the gameplay gets a lot better. Gameplay definitely gets a lot better. There's just like a lot of like tutorials that you have to get through before getting there. But the lore is crazy. But remember, all that good lore came from people who got through all those tutorials. So you got to do it. College content is looking hella nasty, so I'm just waiting to see what college is like. Yeah, no, it'll be rough. I promise you it'll be rough. If you don't really like Resnick and Halliday, you should really reconsider pursuing a physics major. I don't really know who that is. I'm kind of bad on my physicist though. I'm kind of pretty rough. I wish I could tell you, but I'm a bit rough on my physicist. Oh my god, we actually caught up. Rare. I can't believe I actually caught up. I don't have too long left in the stream because I have fantasy football drafts I got to do. I'm doing a fantasy football draft. So if people have more questions, feel free to rifle on things. And I'll make sure to try to get some answers in. If anyone needs has advice on things they want to ask. But yeah. We met Max today. We'll have to bring him in for a stream. You went into theory so you can say you work in theory? No, I get that. I get that. It sounds cool. Any advice for someone going into physics as a freshman this year, with more regard to things you should do or study on your own to prepare? I gave a little bit on this earlier, and obviously I'll say it again. I would say you really want to make sure that you understand that it's going to be hard. That's the first thing. Understand that if you're really, really struggling, don't let it beat on you, and don't let it make you think that you're not capable of being successful in the field. I promise you, it's going to beat you up. If it's not this year, it'll be next year. If it's not next year, it'll be the year after that. There's going to be a point where this content starts to really beat on you, and you're going to hit a point of self-reflection where you have to think to yourself, do I want to be doing this? Because it's going to be very hard. But that's okay. I just want to let you know in advance that's normal. I went through that, and everyone goes through that. It's going to be hard. And when it comes to learning the actual material and studying, don't focus so much on learning just how to do the homework questions. I think just learning how to do the homework questions. Good night. Thank you for joining. I think just learning how to do the homework questions can be very risky because the homework questions aren't the physics in the end. The homework questions are homework questions. What you want to do is think of those homework questions and think of what underlying physics is in those questions. If you can really understand the physics concepts beneath those questions, then you can do any homework problem. And in the end, you look at any problem and you immediately just break it down in your head to what are the physics going on here and what tools in my physics toolbox do I need to use to solve this problem. If you just try to constantly look at the problems and be like, oh, there's a ball with a string with another ball with a string with a ball with a string, what is the tension on the second string? You can learn how to solve that. Is that going to help you at all? No. What's actually going to help? Really learning how the physics works behind that. So focus a lot on the concepts. And I think that can be hard to do in the beginning because you really feel like that what you need to be understanding are the homework questions, but you have to force yourself to take a step away from the questions and spend time just learning the theory and learning how that works. And over time, you're going to start seeing the impact of that. You're going to start seeing the impact. Hi, dude. Appreciate it. I'm glad you like the streams. I appreciate that. If your brain does not feel hurt from studying, then consider it a wasted day. I wouldn't say that. I would say there's plenty of days where I can feel very satisfied with my brain after studying. And I would never say it's a wasted day. Even an unproductive day isn't a wasted day. Sometimes it still feels like that, and of course everyone beats up on themselves about that. But no day's really a wasted day. Sometimes it's like, I didn't get anything done today, but maybe you really needed that break. Maybe you really needed that break and you didn't even realize. You're never going to give yourself credit for that. But when the next day is more productive, you're going to know it's because you slacked off the day before. Your brain must hurt because you're putting the entire universe in your head, allegedly. Just a very small part of it. I know nothing. I'm pretty confident that I know nothing. Yeah. Let's see. For me coming up, what do I got coming up? In case anyone's wondering. I have more research. I'm finally getting some decent results in my own research. I'm trying to hopefully my goal is to get some kind of papers published in the near future, and then I'm also finally starting graduate fellowship applications. That is me applying for funding outside of my lab so that I can get funding for my lab to be able to do research, or I can get my own funding. Basically, I'm not then funded by the lab, I'm funded externally so that I can have more independence of what I want to do. Does that make sense? But yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on right now. What do you think about review articles versus research articles? Review articles are great to learn material. Especially if you're getting into a field, there's concepts that you need to learn. Review articles are great. Research articles are much more going to be like, we're going to assume you know all these things, and then we're going to jump into it. And then we're going to tell you about our experiment and something like that. They both have their uses. All right. Any last questions before we dip, guys? If you're here, you haven't subbed the channel, please sub the channel. You know a lot. But also follow on the Twitch. I'll send it one more time. Give the Twitch a follow if you can. I see it's not very clickable, but give that link a click, or paste that into your browser and just give the Twitch a follow, because that would help me grow. That would definitely help me grow as someone trying to grow. Obviously, YouTube's the main platform right now, but it would be good to be able to have something for. But anyone else got anything? I don't wanna leave without. Hey man, love the videos of the first year physics major. They're so insightful and inspirational. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll show you more cool things. I gotta do a day in the life soon. I said I'm gonna do a day in the life. I'm gonna do a day in the life at some point soon. I wanted to wait till the semester started, and the semester has finally started. So once we kind of get into the weeds of it and I get into a good rhythm, we're gonna do a day in the life video. We will do a day in the life, so people can see kind of what a day is. Am I gonna leave? I got a fantasy football draft soon. I gotta go prepare for my draft. I gotta go make sure I get the draft. So I have 2 drafts today. The one that's gonna be happening in an hour is going to be, it's a keeper league. So I need to see 1 hour before the draft starts. I can see who the keepers are. So I need to make sure I do some review and see who's gonna be on the board. Who do I want to draft? I gotta kind of know. So that's what I'm gonna figure out. But yeah. But yeah, let's definitely try to plan a resume stream in the next couple weeks. I'll see if I can send something out about that. You have abandonment issues? It's okay, dude. I think something tells me you'll make it through. Maybe just barely, but I think you'll make it through. Review articles in CV for master's admission. Review articles in on your CV. Oh, like you wrote a review article? Yeah. Feel free to put it on. It can't hurt. It's not gonna hurt. You putting that on there isn't gonna cause a negative effect. If anything, it doesn't require. If you wrote a review article and you published it in some kind of official place, then yeah, go for it. For sure. If it's just like something you wrote for a class or something, it might not really do much. But if you approach it in an official place, then Yeah, for sure. You publish something. Like you can put that on there. There's a citation you can do with that. So put the citation on there. It's not gonna hurt. But yeah. All right, people. I think that's all we're gonna do for today. So if people want more of these, if people enjoyed the stream, then please let me know, and I will make sure to do more of these in the future, of just normal Q&A streams where we get to answer questions. And yeah. Oh, we got one last question. As undergrad, would you be strategy for networking with academics and grad students at seminars and conferences? Just talking to people. Go watch my vlog. I just posted a vlog on this. If you haven't watched it, just like literally all I did is I just like built up the confidence. I just walked up to people, and when you talk to one person, then you can talk to another. You talk to another. It's about building the confidence to just walk in front of people's faces and just talk to them. Especially when you're like at a conference and stuff, student seminar. You literally just think of a question, go ask the question, go talk to them. It's not even anything that complicated. It's not like it's got to be anything like, oh, there's a strategy to it. No, it's literally just like, I want to talk to that person. Go talk to them. Go walk up to them and say, hey, I know that can be hard. Easier said than done, but it's a skill to work on. And over time, you'll be able to get better at it. So maybe that first time you can't bring yourself to do it, but it's on your mind. That next time, maybe you'll be able to convince yourself to do it. Oh, when I asked about time management, I meant how did you go about managing both schoolwork and whatever other side projects you had going on? Oh, yeah. It's kind of just like make sure to have friends that you can work with on, so you can like make sure to work on your homeworks together. So it's like, hey, dude, we got like 3 homeworks tonight. I'm gonna do problem 1, you do problem 2, we exchange, and then we work together in the next homework. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta do what you gotta do, and it's kind of just like you by keeping yourself at a critical threshold of busyness where every night you have to do this thing rather than being like, I could do it, I could save it for tomorrow, kind of like being like, no, I gotta do this because if I don't do this tonight, I'm screwed. So keeping yourself in that state of being busy enough where you have to do things, you have to be able to put pressure on yourself. So the way I would do it is like I would have like a meeting the next day or something. I would be like, okay, I have this meeting the next day, so I'm literally not going to have time to be able to do this the next day. So if I don't do this tonight, I can't do it. And that forces me to do it. Because now it's like I can't slack tonight because I will not be able to do it tomorrow. But you kind of just you will never feel like you have time. Never. Especially like even just your classes as a STEM major will never make you feel like you have time. But all you have to do is force yourself to do that one extra thing and put it on your plate, and you're going to find yourself learning over time that you actually have the ability to manage all those things because you're going to put more on your plate and learn how to balance that on your plate. It's a skill, especially when you're in college, you're learning how to do those things. So push yourself a little bit, you know? Biggest tip on applying to graduate school, reach out to professors ahead of time. Biggest tip. Biggest tip is you can figure out how to you can get into a school before you even apply. If you can get into contact with a professor and they can like you, and you can know if you're going to get in before you even apply. That doesn't apply as much to physics, unfortunately, but a lot of engineering programs, that can work. Oh, wow. All of a sudden, I say I'm going to end stream, and all of a sudden there's a ton of... Where did you get the doorknob on your door to the left? I'm looking into door recoding. Yeah, gravity switch. I don't really know what to tell you. I'm in a rented house. I don't really know what to tell you on that. What master's mission officers are majorly looking for getting students? I don't really know how to answer that. Do you mean like what are they looking for in students? Just research. A lot of research, a lot of experiences. You kind of showcasing your skills outside of just classes. You can have a 4.0, but you're going to lose to someone that's got like a 3.6 and has a ton of experiences. I thought professors weren't in charge of admissions. If your program has like a committee, then yeah, they're not in charge. But it can still help in a way because sometimes they can they might be on the committee. Maybe that professor you reached out to is on the committee, and they're like, oh, I kind of like that student. I would vouch for him to get in because he wants to work with me. Can still help. But a lot of engineering programs, it's not committee decision, and it's just does the lab want to take you in? And if you reach out to that professor in the engineering program, and that professor says, yeah, I would want you in my lab, then they can themselves be solely the person to admit you to the university. I got into programs just based on reaching out to professor. Like, if I did not reach out, I wasn't getting in. But because I emailed them and I met with them and they liked me and they would be willing to take me in their lab, I get it. No committee. No other people in charge. One person in charge. It varies by school, but those are things to look into. All right, people. I got to go prep for a fantasy draft. I will be doing fantasy football today. Wish me luck in my fantasy draft. If we want to see more of these, please let me know. Join the Discord if you haven't. The link is in the description of this stream right now. Let me know in the Discord if you have any questions or if there's anything, or if you want to see more or what other content ideas you have. I will keep working on making stuff myself, and I'll hopefully see a bunch of you soon, okay? Thank you all for joining. I appreciate all of you. Okay? See you, people. Bye, 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 bye. Bye. I'm letting the delay catch up so I can say bye to people.